Rick Mercer before the Tudors show. The big news this week, Prime Minister Stephen Harper presented his mini-budget, daring Liberal leader Stéphane Dion to blink, and he did. And now for Dion's response to the budget, we go to this press conference.
Hello, I'm Stéphane Dion. These tax cuts are not very nice, but I promise not to vote against them because I am afraid. I cannot sleep or drink my milk.
Monsieur Dion, un comment en français, s'il vous plaît.
Comme les petits enfants doivent marcher à genoux avant.
Like the little child must learn to crawl before he can walk, a nation must learn to hear before it can speak. Blooming like a flower, wild yet beautiful, serene yet forceful, together we can walk out of this storm into a glorious day.
Also, I think it would be nice if they would provide sandwiches for us while we listen to such a long speech. But I cannot eat mayonnaise. It makes my tummy all rumbly.
This is not the country of Laurier or Trudeau. This budget hangs around the neck of the downtrodden like a giant millstone. I say, Mr. Harper, cut this jagged rope, free us from these chains so that we may stand tall, and have not will be no more, no more, no more.
Also, it would be nice if our parking was validated right away. After this speech, I was shocked to get a ticket for $30 even though I was invited. Seriously, I mean, what's the deal? Canadians,
friends, liberals, the storm clouds have passed, a single beam of sunlight cascades on a nation that has lived 2 years in darkness. Let the light expose the darkest corners and shine onto the world, for in light there is truth, and in truth there is Canada.
Also, if anyone shoots a blackberry, please let me know. I misplaced it, and they are very expensive. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Finance Minister Jim Flaherty proved this week just how nerdy politicians can be.
This cost $29.74 U.S.
Not to be outdone, Liberal finance critic John McCallum offered up a sample of his own geekiness.
74 cents.
B.
This cost $29.74 U.S.
Not to be outdone, Liberal finance critic John McCallum offered up a sample of his own geekiness.
Was it his idea, or did the Dark Lord Voldemort get in on his dough in the PMO? Order! His finance underling to do it.
And how does a nerd react to such an accusation?
I'm at best a mere elf.
Mr. Speaker, could the honorable members please return to their parents' basements?
Washoe, the sign language trained chimpanzee who many claim was just mimicking human behavior and not actually communicating in human form, died this week. In a deathbed message, Washoe proved all doubters wrong when her final words were the extremely poignant, "Cheese happy foot bird."
Robert Goulet, the handsome, big-voiced baritone who took Broadway by storm, has died at age 73. Goulet was born in the U.S. and had his early career in Canada, returned to work in the U.S., but most importantly, died like a Canadian. And by that, I mean he was awaiting surgery.
Parti Québécois leader Pauline Marois has chastised the Montreal Canadiens hockey team for not forcing its players to learn French. In a related story, Ontario Premier Dalton McGuinty has chastised the Toronto Maple Leafs for not forcing their players to learn hockey.
I'm Colleen.
I'm Irene.
And I'm Margarine.
And together, we're the four Celtic sisters.
Back with a brand new set of songs dedicated to our men
And women.
fighting in Afghanistan.
Fare thee well, fare thee well.
Over there, over there.
Yes, we understand the urgence of killing the insurgents, but please fare thee well over there.
Over there.
Over. Ow, my hair.
Our first album, Songs for Ye Who Are O'er There, sold over 75 copies. That's why we're so pleased to bring you our follow-up CD, Songs for Ye Who Are Nae Here.
I will wait for thee beneath our favorite tree, for I know that you'll always be mine. Though this birch has me strangled in a mess, I'm entangled just like you until 2009.
We love singing almost as much as we love our troops in Afghanistan. That's why we vowed to cut nary a lock of our hair until they're all safe at home.
Oh my Stan, oh my Stan, oh my Afghanistan.
I will seek his love in a field of poppies.
I will seek his love in a dark, dark cave.
I will seek his love in the wind-blown sands.
For there's no better man than my Afghanistan.
Don't break.
Songs for Ye Who Are Nae Here. Available wherever commemorative spoons are sold.
Hey, I'm a buck.
And I'm a loony.
Hey, Looney, check out my new tattoo. It's an eagle. It's totally cool, right? Do you still have the queen on your back? Oh, not talking to me now? How juvenile.
What? Oh, sorry, I'm really high right now.
Oh, wow. Nice, really professional. What are you on now?
Oh, a bunch of all-natural resources. You want them?
At your prices? I don't think so. Well, I can't stay in chit-chat. They're sending me to Iraq to get some natural resources of my own. Do you want to come?
No, I think I'll just hang around here, pay off the debt, maybe give everyone a tax break. Might not be as extreme as attacking a foreign country, but it's making me very popular with foreign investors. Oh, there's another one now. Hello. Yeah, I'd be totally into that.
Yeah, well, I've got lots of hip investors looking at me, too.
I'm on the phone. Could you just stand there and quietly depreciate?
This is not fair.
The big boys are talking.
Shh. The Chinese government lashed out at Canada for what it called disgusting conduct for welcoming the Dalai Lama. If China recalls its ambassador in protest, it'll be the 500th Chinese recall this year.
Washington has dropped its warning to the people of New Jersey not to eat squirrels. Instead, Washington is now warning travelers that people in New Jersey eat squirrels.
Here's a look at 22 Minutes' newest news magazine.
Welcome to Face to Face. I'm Ted Black. My guest is James Penny from the Bank of Canada, here to discuss Governor David Dodge's remarks that the Canadian dollar is overvalued. Let's get started. Mr. Penny, why would the head of the Bank of Canada make such reckless remarks?
There is a real concern that the value of the dollar is being inflated by speculators. Do we have to be this close?
Aren't there other controls at the prime lending rate that won't cause such wild fluctuations?
Yes, but sometimes you're really invading my personal space.
Does it make you uncomfortable? Like having to pay more than Americans even though our dollar is worth more?
Yes. No, I mean, it does make me uncomfortable, but that's not... Could I just sit back a little?
I see you cut yourself shaving. Is that because you were nervous about having to defend Mr. Dodge?
Look, my neck is getting stiff.
Stiff from looking over your shoulder for angry consumers?
There are many reasons why prices are higher. Tariffs, backlog of stock.
What about the mint?
Yes, I suppose the mint could have something to do with it as well.
No, I mean the mint I offered you before the show. Could you please use it now?
I left it in my dressing room.
Then that's all the time we have. Tune in next time when I go face to face with Peter Falk, and I try to figure out which eye to look at. Good night.
The Quebec government will progressively increase the number of immigrants to the province over the next 3 years in its bid to attract 55,000 newcomers from abroad by 2010. Quebec will welcome immigrants from France, Belgium, Luxembourg, the French part of Switzerland, and anywhere else there are French-speaking white people.
And now it's time for the story of a group that's found comfort in each other, knowing that they're all, well, tall. Our newest correspondent, Nathan Fielder, has more.
Our world is full of all types of people, Chinese people, etc. But what's it like to be a person that's tall? A tall person.
This helicopter is hovering 6 feet 4 inches above the ground. Now, if you were that tall, that's about how tall you'd be.
But what's being tall without having other tall people to share life with?
Now we got one guy that's 2 inches taller than him.
This is the Tall Club of Toronto, and it's a way for these urban giants to do stuff with each other. Tall Club President Richard Hurdle. Why a club for tall people?
We are kind of like a big family. The only reason we are together is because everybody's very tall. And we find that it's just nice to associate with like people. We have fun. We have 2 drinks, we have a little food, and then we play pool. And
it's a forum to do activities that only they can do, like tall dining, tall billiards, and tall hanging out.
Sometimes you run into a fairly obnoxious person that says, "How's the air up there, shorty?" and all this sort of stuff. And some of our comebacks, which we don't use very often, "Oh, fine, but how do my armpits smell down there, shorty?" Or another one is, "The air up here is good. How do my feet smell down there, shorty?" You know, something like that.
I'm 5'11", so for me to fully understand what it's like to be tall, I had a camcorder attached to this custom-made metal brace.
Shorty. You know, something like that.
I'm 5'11", so for me to fully understand what it's like to be tall, I had a camcorder attached to this custom-made metal brace that extends 4 inches above my head. Now the camcorder is a live feed to this monitor, which now enables me to see the world through the eyes of a 6-foot 3-inch man. So this is what it's like to be tall.
A little bit. Your perspective is just slightly different.
I quickly realized that for a tall person, the simplest activities become a huge challenge. It's nearly impossible to comfortably play pool, go to the bathroom, or even change your battery. You guys got a pretty tough gig.
Got a pretty tough gig?
Like it's tough being tall.
Well, I don't see any difficult being tall personally.
Maybe he's just a bit shy, but with all the daily challenges they encounter, it's good to know that tall people have a place to struggle through life together. Nathan Fielder, After Work Before Tudors, Toronto.
Hey there, I'm Crazy Jim Flaherty, Finance Minister of Canada, and have I got some deals for you. Booyah! Whoa! I'm so crazy, I'm cutting taxes on everything. You know the GST? I'm cutting it. 7% tax? Don't be stupid. 6% tax? Try again. Here at Crazy Jim, I'm cutting it down to 5. Booyah! Buying something for $10, you pay only 50 cents tax. That's just 2 quarters. Booyah! Here at Crazy Jim's Tax Cut Emporium, we're even blowing the surplus. Booyah! If you're an average family, you'll save over $300 this year alone. That's 350 pounds of nickels, or the weight of 10 Stephanie arms. How do we do it? Easy! By accessing social programs. Booyah! We're saving you cash money. Until you need a social program, then you're screwed. Crazy Jim's Tax Cut Emporium. Come one, come all, but come quick, because the surplus won't last forever.
Crazy Jim's Tax Cut Emporium in the newly renovated House of Commons, exit 23 off the 417. If you hit the Rideau Mall, you've gone too far.
The strong Canadian dollar hurt the financial results of romance publisher Harlequin Enterprises this year. The rising Canadian dollar gripped the timid but longing publisher roughly in its strong arms, pressed its lips to hers, and in that moment, they both knew what they had long denied, that revenue was down $3.8 million due to foreign exchange rates.
In his memoir, gay former NSYNC member Lance Bass says that years ago in Las Vegas, he married a girlfriend just so he could get free drinks. Free drinks is the name of a Filipino busboy.
A new type of tell-all book is hitting the shelves. Books written by the parents of celebrities. Courtney Love's mother wrote a book last year, and now Britney Spears' mother has a publishing deal. To discuss this trend, we have another mom who has just written a tell-all book about her daughter, Agnes Jones. Mom, what are you doing here?
Hi, sweetheart. I'm just here to plug my new book. Keep going. You're doing great.
What's the title?
It's called Kathy Jones, the Harlot That Never Listened. Mom! Now, don't get all upset. The publisher told me sex sells. It doesn't mean anything. But you never did listen to me. Remember the dreadlocks?
Can we just forget the dreadlocks?
Oh, my God. Why a girl as pretty as you would want to mess her hair up like that? This isn't Jamaica. It's Newfoundland.
It was a phase. I wanted to make a statement.
Oh, Sacred Heart. I would have thought crashing your father's car on grad night would have been enough of a statement. Why didn't you go to beauty school? You need something to fall back on. How long do you think this TV business is going to last?
Mom, I've been on a hit show for 15 years.
Oh, yeah? How many Geminis did you win this year?
None.
I didn't hear that.
None.
Exactly. Look, Cheryl has an opening right now down at the beauty school. She says you can apprentice. Within a year, you'll be cutting your own hair.
We'll talk about this later, okay?
See? Never listens to me. That's why I wrote the book.
Oh, yeah? Well, if I wasn't on TV, you wouldn't have a book deal. What do you want to say about that?
Why aren't you married?
That's all the time we have. Good night.
Time to check in with our colleagues south of the border.
I'm Wolf Blitzer, and you're in the Situation Room. Tonight, Rwanda rebuilds. Can a country known for genocide become a major player on the world stage? We go now to Bill Dawson in Rwanda tonight. Bill, what's the situation on the ground?
The situation is dire. 300 Hutus marched today, setting fire to several homes.
Are you concerned for your safety? I see that socialite Paris Hilton canceled her philanthropic visit to Rwanda. Is that what has the Rwandonians so very upset?
No, they didn't even know she was coming.
Had she gone there, where would she have stayed? We've all heard of the Hotel Rwanda, but I'm guessing she'd stay at the Hilton. Is there a Hilton in downtown Rwanda tonight?
There is no downtown Rwanda.
Bill Dawson with an exclusive. Downtown Rwanda completely destroyed in mass riots over the cancellation of Paris Hilton's visit. Nicole Ritchie will be joining us in the Situation Room. Nicole Ritchie, pregnant. Bill, in your opinion, would Rwanda make a good name for a girl?
No, nobody cares about Paris. The concern in Rwanda is for the Hutus and the Tutsis.
And by Tutsi, you mean the character played by Kim Fields on The Facts of Life. What impact would she have? I mean, she hasn't been in much of anything for quite some time. Personally, I think Paris Hilton is the bigger name.
No, not Tutti, Tutsis.
I'm sorry, CNN apologizes for that error. Bill was, of course, referring to Tutsis, the cross-dressing character played by Dustin Hoffman in the film of the same name. CNN regrets the error.
Listen to me. There's evidence that the Rwandan rebels have crossed over to the Democratic Republic of Congo.
So is there danger of some kind of Congo line breaking out? Paris Hilton, an actress, a singer, and a dancer, would the addition of a triple threat ease or irritate tensions? Bill? Bill?
I could give you a million reasons why I've chosen the Protect Us All vaccine, but really, it just comes down to one. I'm smart. Smart enough to know that when a major pharmaceutical company tells me to take a drug that's long-term effectiveness is unproven, I should just trust them. Why? Because smart girls do what they're told, and they don't ask questions, especially about stuff that happens down there. So be a smart girl and check out the Protecticil vaccine. Go see a doctor. Ask if Protecticil is right for you. What are you waiting for? Do you need a ride? Because I can drive you. Or I'll pay for the cab. The drug company reimburses me. Did I mention that you get free juice and cookies afterwards? What's your address? Because I could just come over and inject you myself.
Protecticil. Just be a smart girl and get it. Check out our website at cbc.ca, the After Rick Mercer Before the Tudors show, for clips from tonight's show or sketches from previous shows, like this one from last week.
You think it is over. You think you are safe. You are wrong. I promise my work will continue. Vote for non-confidence. The games have just begun.
Just a programming note, next week we'll be re-airing our premiere show. Not our first one, but the one featuring the Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, Danny Williams, as he tries to take my place on the desk. So make sure you check it out next Tuesday at 8:30, and then in 2 weeks, we'll be back with a brand new episode. So on behalf of Kathy, Jerry, and Gavin, I'm Mark Critch saying, thanks for watching the After Rick Mercer Before the Tudors show. Good night.